So we are live. So everything people hear us saying now, the world knows about it.
Okay.
Also I put a little scroll at the bottom there talking about it too. So at any given time, folk will know about it. And definitely make sure that your sorors, all your sisters, go out there and share it. And definitely make sure that the community knows about it on Saturday. Okay,
Yes.
so we got a few people in right now, Ms. Sawyer, and so what we're going to do is go ahead and get started. First, I want to say, Ms. Sawyer, I definitely appreciate you coming on to talk about this topic of mental health in our community.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And so we want to also go ahead and say formally, we want to welcome you to the Let's Talk Mental Health, where we delve into a conversation aimed at promoting awareness and understanding around mental health today. Today, we are honored to have Ms. Robin Sawyer, President of Phi Gamma Omega, chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. Did I get that right?
You did. Good
All
job.
right. Joining us to discuss the upcoming mental health seminar and resource fair scheduled for us this Saturday, May 4th, over at Design Hill Church Family. With Alpha Kappa Alpha's dedication to empowering families, uh, mental health awareness is where that falls in under y'all 6 initiatives at the national level, right?
Right. That's right.
We did our research a little bit.
Church. Good.
We're eager to learn more about y'all's efforts combating the stigma surrounding and fostering awareness surrounding depression, anxiety, and trauma here in our community.
Yes.
Ms. Sawyer, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about Alpha Kappa Alpha and all of the good stuff that y'all are doing in the community.
Sure. Thanks for having me. So I'm Robin Sawyer. I am a native of Pineville, Louisiana, and I am president of Phi Gamma Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. We are based in Pineville, Louisiana, and our primary focus is trying to serve the community on this side of the river. However, we work towards helping all parts of the community. This specific event falls under our Empowering Our Families initiative, which is a national initiative identified from our national office. So as Alpha Kappa Alpha women, we recognize that a healthy family lends to a healthy community. And so with that being said, a strong area of focus is mental health. We understand that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that's why we are hosting our seminar this Saturday.
This Saturday. All right. Can you share with our audience the inspiration behind organizing the mental health seminar resource fair and what the attendees can expect to gain from this event?
Sure. So we have a planning committee based in our chapter, and our participants in our committee are mental health providers. We have social workers, we have a recreation therapist, which I am. We have a mental health nurse practitioner, and we have formed the actual planning committee. With the knowledge and skills that we have, we were able to reach out to other community partners to do some collaborative work. And so we've extended invitations to several community agencies and organizations to help in our efforts. And I'm going to share a few, and this is not an exhaustive list. Everybody has to come on Saturday to see everyone, but our presenter is going to be Kaya Johnson Isles, and she is the founder of 6 Feet Above, which is a mental health and suicide prevention nonprofit organization here in Alexandria. We will also have Longleaf Hospital there. Safe Sinlaw will be there, and we'll also have a number of clinicians who have private counseling practices, to include Brighter Day Counseling and Consulting Services, the Inspired Counseling, and Hidden Wounds Mental Health.
Okay. How does Alpha Kappa Alpha's commitment to empowering our families, mental health awareness, align with the objectives of this upcoming seminar?
Good question. So as I stated, Alpha Kappa Alpha has a long history of providing service to families. We recognize, like I stated, that a healthy family is the foundation for a healthy community. And what we want to instill and want the community to understand is that in order for you to have a healthy outlook and healthy well-being, your mental health has to come first, right? We
Right.
want individuals to understand that there is a stigma related to mental health. We need to break down those barriers and erase that stigma, and that comes through education. So when we host these type of events, that's our goal, to have the participants attend but also leave with some tools, resources, and knowledge about what mental health is. So if they are personally impacted by any mental health issues or have someone in their family that may be impacted by mental health issues, that they are able to know, the resources and tools that are available to them.
Cool, cool, cool. What specific workshops or resources will be available at the seminar to address mental health challenges such as the depression, anxiety, and trauma?
Okay, so as I mentioned, we are going to have a guest speaker from 6 Feet Above, and she's
Mhm.
going to spend about 30 minutes sharing her story as well as what her nonprofit organization does. Following that, we are going to have I think we have 7 to 8 agencies and organizations that will have booths set up. So we
Mhm.
are going to encourage our members in attendance to visit all of the booths that are present, to gather information, tools, and resources that they may need. Have open dialogue and conversation with the agencies that are there. Like I said, you may not at this present moment be in need of mental health treatment or have any issues currently, but you never know when you may, or you never know when someone you come in contact may need some mental health services. So always having some knowledge of what is available in the community is really important. And that's what we want the community to take from Saturday's event.
Ms. Sawyer, I might disagree with you like that. I think that this whole Alexandria anyway, with all of the violence that we have here in the community, I think it's quite a few young kids that probably are suffering from, PTSD related type symptoms, given the trauma that they, the environment that they experience.
Definitely, definitely. And that's why another thing that is important for anyone you come in contact with is to promote understanding and empathy.
Mhm.
The issues that I dealt with when I was young are definitely not the issues that these kids are dealing with now. So we have to be soldiers in this situation, like starting early, um, providing them the tools and resources, but having open dialogue with our youth is very important. I
Right.
have a 17-year-old son. I have two boys. I'm a boy mom. So I
Mhm.
to have conversations with both of them in reference to making sure that, if they're having any issues, to have conversations with me. And I think that's what's most important. And also focusing on identifying self-care. I think these youth don't understand the importance of taking care of themselves. And like I said, the pressures and issues that I dealt with when I was young are definitely not their pressures. So um, being able to identify things that help it to improve their self-care, like getting enough sleep,
Mhm.
physical activity, eating healthy, and this is a real big thing for not just the youth, for adults as well, taking a break from social media. We have to learn to set healthy boundaries, know that no is a complete sentence, right? And be okay with that. So all of those things are tools that we need to instill in our youth. And
Mhm.
I also wanted to mention that last year's our focus was on self-care, which is always important in mental health. But
Mhm.
this year's focus is mental health across the lifespan.
Mhm.
So what we are wanting to focus on is at every age, beginning the conversation at an early age, age specific, to meet the needs of that age group, but making sure that you continue that conversation throughout the lifespan, from as young as they can understand until we close our eyes. So that's another key focus of what our mental health seminar is going to focus on as well.
Wow. We got off, but that was some good information there. Could you provide a little insight into the partnerships and collaborations that have contributed to the success of organizing these type of events?
Right. So, like I said, I have to give a shout out to my sorority sisters who are working in the mental health space, and they know who they are. And I'm not going to say everyone's name, because if I leave somebody out, I'll have to hear about it later. But our planning committee has worked really hard. We were able to bring our knowledge, skills, and abilities together in the forefront to identify what we wanted this seminar to look like. Once we were able to identify that, then we were able to step out into the community and reach out and collaborate with them. And a lot of the agencies and organizations and the private clinicians that will be represented at our booth informational space are actually people that we have worked with. So it's very good to have resources and know that when you need to do something in terms of bringing awareness to the community about whatever subject it is, that you know who to reach out to.
Right. I think you can't drive that home enough, because I hear it. Doing the work that I do right now, I hear victims' families and different things of that nature, and just trying to cope with the outcomes of what happened and things of that nature, and just knowing where to go. I think there are some great support systems that are being built, but I don't think we can put enough information out there, because a lot of people, when it does happen, it just happens at the spur of the moment, and it's kind of like, where do I go from here?
Right.
A quick question. In light of the recent reports concerning suicides among young African Americans in Alexandria, how does Alpha Kappa Alpha aim to address this concerning issue within the local community? And I said reported issues. Most of them are not. I run across it just because I'm in this media kind of realm. But shed some light on that, Ms. Sawyer.
Sure. Thank you for asking that question. I am preparing for this interview. I did a little research, and we received a toolkit from our national office. And one of the statistics that was in the toolkit stated that suicide is the second leading cause of death among the age group of 10 to 24. So that was a staggering statistic when I read that. And like I spoke about earlier, the issues that our youth are facing are so different from what we have faced in past times. We have to meet the youth where they are. And it comes a lot from, I think, what you instill in them as a parent, but also letting them know that if you don't have that support within your family, that there may be a teacher or a clergy member or an aunt or an uncle, or a friend perhaps, someone that they can have a conversation with to let them know, hey, I'm not feeling okay. Is this normal, or do you think I should seek treatment? And I say that to also say that when and if you are approached with that conversation, we have to be knowledgeable of what to do in that situation. And so if you are ever approached and you have someone saying, I'm feeling depressed or anxious, or, having thoughts to harm myself, you want to be able to say, I can help you. There is help available. And attending these kind of seminars and just keeping yourself knowledgeable of what is available in the community and nationally as well. But it starts at the community to be able to help these kids.
I think I don't know, but just in the first quarter of this year, we've gone quite a few young people have committed suicide right here in Central Louisiana.
And we would not say Jack, we want to not say committed. We don't want to make it like it's a crime. We want to say died by suicide.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I've read that information on 988. That was
Yeah.
a test. Let me see. That was a test just to make sure you were going. You were
Okay.
going.
All right.
You got to check an A on
All right.
that. I concur. But we've got to do a little. In my opinion, I think we're in almost a crisis,
Mhm.
and we've got to do more, even from like and I know Dr. Hunter, who's the Rapides Parish coroner. He's committed to helping with anything that's out there, but we've got to do something to
Oh, I know.
begin. Yep. How can the community members and organizations get involved in or support Alpha Kappa Alpha in your ongoing efforts in promoting mental health awareness beyond the seminar?
Okay, so the first thing they can do is attend the seminar this Saturday. But
Okay.
moving forward, what we want to encourage everyone is to normalize the conversation and to be able to start the conversation. In order to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, we have to be able to have open and honest conversations in relation to it. 9 times out of 10, somebody has experienced a form of anxiety, some depressive symptoms in their life. That's just normal. What we need to know is how to deal with those situations. Normalize it, have the conversation, also know when it's time to say, hey, I need to seek some help. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be hospitalized, but maybe seeking help in the form of seeing a therapist, or sometimes applying some self-care resources like meditation or yoga or mindfulness, things like that. Like I mentioned, exercise, whatever it is to kind of get you to feeling where you need to feel.
What message would you like to convey to individuals who may be struggling with mental illness, health issues, but are hesitant to seek that help? I've spoke to some other therapy, other folk in the social realm, and they've talked about it. But in your opinion, what's your thoughts on that?
So I want to just tell anyone that's listening now that may be struggling that they matter, that there is help available. We want you here, and just fight through it. If there are anybody on the listening to the sound of my voice now that is suffering or having thoughts of suicide, there is a crisis hotline. You simply can dial or text 988. That will be a live person that you can have a conversation with, and they can determine next steps. But ultimately, I want everyone to understand that mental health is just as important as physical health. And the only way that we can make improvements in our society is if we normalize the conversation. We have to break down the stigmas and the barriers related to mental health. We want to use proper terminology when discussing it. We want to be able to amplify resources that are available, and know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but every day that you're blessed to see another day, you should move forward and focus on your mental health and well-being.
I want to get a little, with that answer that you gave. So it's okay for me to turn around and say, you know what, I have a headache, and
Mhm.
you don't think nothing of that. But if I tell you, I'm feeling a little down, I'm a little anxious about going into the office today or going to school today.
Mhm.
How do just from a real world situation, how do you approach that? How do you see that in an individual, and how do you approach it from your perspective?
Right. And that's a great question. And I think that is where we struggle as a society in terms of breaking down the barriers and the stigmas related to it.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, if I were to go have a conversation about any physical ailment that I'm experiencing,
Hmm.
no one would feel like that was an odd topic to have to broach.
Hmm.
However, if I began saying that, I've been feeling sadder than I normally have, or I've been having these anxious feelings, that may cause folks to be a little bit more uncomfortable. So
Mhm.
that's where education comes in. And I'm not saying that everybody has to be a subject matter expert, but basic knowledge of what to say, like, are you okay? Do you need someone to talk to? And whatever, based on whatever response you may receive, being able to say, well, I know about A, B, or C, this agency that you can contact, or I know of a therapist or a clinician that that may be able to help you. I think that's what we have to do, and that's where normalizing the conversation comes into play.
Okay. Before we get ready to close there, Ms. Sawyer, is there anything else that you'd like to mention that we didn't cover?
I want to just stress to educate yourself and others about mental health. Focus on erasing the stigma in regards to mental health. Realize that you need to make mental health a priority in your life, and there are a lot of resources and agencies and folk around that are here to support you, and there is help available if you need it.
Okay, cool. Um, you know, for everyone that's out there, this thing called mental health is a real issue, a real
Mhm.
problem in our community, and sometimes we take it for granted.
Oh,
Mhm. But so if do us a favor tonight and share this post if you can, definitely if you can carve out that time on Saturday. What time is the event on Saturday?
The event begins at 9:30. It's from 9:30 to 11:30 at
Mhm.
Zion Baptist Church in Pineville.
Okay. As we conclude our conversation with Ms. Sawyer, president of the Phi Gamma Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, we extend our gratitude for shedding light on the upcoming mental health seminar and resource fair. By addressing critical issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma, Alpha Kappa Alpha continues to exemplify their dedication to empowering our families' mental health awareness. We encourage all our listeners to mark their calendars for May 4th and join in this vital conversation aimed at promoting mental health and well-being within our community. Again, Ms. Sawyer, we definitely want to say thank you on behalf of the team over here at Urban Cast for doing what you guys do.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, but it's really cool when we see our Greek letter organization, the Divine Nine, all getting out there and doing some. I've had Sigma Gamma Rho, Phi Beta, no, Sigma Gamma Rho, no, Zeta Phi Beta, and the AKAs and the Deltas have all been doing some wonderful things in the
that's right.
community.
It's all love, and we have to support each other. When there are topics such as this, it doesn't matter what organization you belong to. It's about bringing this information to the community to benefit it.
You're right, and covering some of those over the last couple of weeks. I've seen the Deltas and the the other organizations crossing at the. They had something going on, but they had to get to this event as
Right.
well. So that's really cool to see that the community beginning to work together that way. That's for
That's
sure.
great. It is great.
Well, I definitely want to say thank you again, and I want to definitely say thank you to everybody who joined us out there. Ms. Sawyer, if you could just hang tight 1 second, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.